Hey guys, JK here with another Alchemist code video. This is my third time recording this actually. I have had audio glitches and stuff on my computer, so I'm just gonna try doing it on my phone. It's a lot more straightforward. I apologize if it doesn't sound that good, but my videos have never sounded that good anyway, so let's just do what works. Anyway, the point of this video is to compare Vargas's stats across similar types of units, mainly Dark Knights and damage dealers who are fire-based or whatever, but yeah, I just wanted to see how he stacks up, considering that he is free and he's farmable right now. So, people ask all the time whether he's worth investing the resources in, and it depends on your situation, honestly. But I think that you'll kind of get a better sense of how he stacks up in this video, hopefully. Without further ado, let's go ahead and compare him to our favorite free unit in the game, the lovable Diaz. So I couldn't find a similar level Diaz in the arena top 50 actually, which was what I was trying to do. This is the only one that I could find, which is surprising because a few days ago there were actually a good number of Diaz's in the top 50. But anyway, the stat difference isn't huge from 72 to 78, I don't think, so this should still be a valid comparison. What you notice right off the bat is that Diaz is a little bit tankier. He has higher HP and higher defense. The 78 Vargas that you're seeing up on top is actually mine, and I actually put on power up instead of over limit in order to mitigate some of his paper thin defense. He has 164 here, but normally he'd have like 30 less. But I wanted him to be a little tankier and a little more well-rounded, and I didn't necessarily need the 700 plus attack. But just be aware of that as we go through. Anytime you see a level 78 Vargas, it has power up instead of over limit. So, yeah, I think clearly Vargas's attack is way superior. It's even with power up, it's 140 almost higher than Diaz's. He is a little weaker, of course, tankiness wise, but I think that his much higher attack makes up for that for sure. And the agility is very similar as well. It's 94 versus 93, and of course that could just be a level difference type of thing. So what we have is a little bit more tankiness on Diaz, but a lot more attack on Vargas. So I think in this direct comparison, Vargas does win. Element not considered. I mean, sometimes you will need the dark element. It's just safer overall. But if it's kind of neutral and just all things constant, Vargas definitely wins this matchup. The next comparison is Vargas and Zangetsu, and that's mainly because Zangetsu is a popular fire-based damage dealer. We have a level 82 Vargas and a level 85 versus a level 80 and an 85. And what really jumps off the page is the defense. Vargas's paper-thin defense, 136 and 138, just are almost half of Zangetsu's, which is about 250. So Zangetsu is just going to be way tankier, and on average his HP is also higher, like 50 to 100 plus higher. So yeah, he can actually tank a few hits versus Vargas, who will just kind of like die. But Vargas does have noticeably higher attack again, using the over limit and overdrive setup. He has 734 on the left and 796 on the right versus 650, 661. So if the 600s are not quite enough to one-shot an enemy, but the 700s are, then Vargas can actually be a better choice. But all in all, the Zangetsu is a lot more well-rounded, minus the agility. You'll notice that he's super slow. He's one of the slowest characters probably in the game, other than like certain mages or tanks. But yeah, we have 82 agility and 84 versus 96 and 103. But you can kind of mitigate that with some Chronomancer support, and I'm not sure if it actually makes like a huge turn difference in arena either. But yeah, Vargas beats him out on speed and attack, but Zangetsu is just a lot more well-rounded, a lot more solid and tanky. So I think Zangetsu does win this one, but it's not like embarrassing. You know, Vargas does hold his own. The next one's going to be comparing with Zahar. And this is actually probably the closest comparison that we have out of the entire bunch. And the attacks kind of look way different. Like, again, we have my Vargas and a level 85 Vargas. And the attack looks a lot higher, 675 and 796 versus 624 and 705. But you do have to note that the Zahars on the bottom have chosen not to use over limit, which is available to them because Zahar does go through the Dark Knight class as well, but they've gone with HP cost -2 instead. So I have seen Zahars with 800 attack before, but I guess that's just not worth it, and that would make him, you know, super glass cannon as well. So yeah, Vargas does win in this case, but attack is actually pretty equal, and Zahar's HP is kind of hard to compare again because we have such a high HP count on the right, but they might be pretty similar actually in the HP department, and agility wise Zahar definitely wins as well. 102 and 106 beat out 94 and 103. So all in all, Zahar does win this one a little bit. It would be interesting to see Zahars with both overdrive and over limit and see how the attacks compare, but I think that they would come out pretty similar, and Zahar would have the defense and the agility edge. So but it's actually very similar. So these are the most comparable units, and of course, you know, the element matters. I actually kind of like Vargas in Arena because there's so many wind units. There's a lot of Lucians, Yomis, and Bolts running around. But yeah, just pure stat wise, I think Zahar has a slight edge. Finally, we have Anastasia, who is considered to be kind of a better version of Zahar, but it's a little bit of a toss-up in certain areas. So the first thing you'll notice about her is that her HP is a lot lower. We have 549 and 557, but that is mitigated by her higher defense, which is 185 and 187, and the fact that these Anastasias are using composite armor as their reactive ability, so that's definitely going to help her to survive. Attack-wise, she's actually very, very comparable to both of these Vargases that you're seeing on the screen. And booster +1, I don't know if that necessarily reflects in the stats, but that also helps her do more damage as well. And her agility is probably the highest out of all Dark Knight type of damage dealers that we have. So we have 111 on the left and 114 on the right. So she is a lot faster than a lot of the units here, and her damage is right up there with Vargas. Her defense is higher. Her HP is definitely lower, but as we've mentioned, you know, that is kind of offset in some other areas. So I think this is clearly a win for Anastasia. But again, I think Vargas is respectable. It's not like an embarrassing loss where he's just worse in everything. I mean, there are places where he is better, but I do think Anastasia is clearly better here. So that's the last unit I'm going to review today, but I hope you learned something and thought it was interesting. I am raising him up because I'm not even close to a Job 3 Dark Cavalier on any of my other units, I don't think. I mean, I have a Bolt, of course, but as far as the units that I presented here, I don't have any kind of substitutes for that. So I think I am going to use Vargas until Job 3s start coming my way and I start pulling more and getting more shards. In the long run, he is going to falter and kind of be outclassed by various units, but I think that for at least a couple months, he's going to be very usable. His attack is just super high, and if you just kind of babysit him right, you can keep him alive and make him do a lot of good work for you. So yeah, that's my opinion on Vargas. I was actually pretty impressed with the comparisons. I don't know how you felt. It's just really his defense that's embarrassingly bad, but I mean, again, you can put power up as well instead of one of the two, over limit or overdrive. You can kind of choose to make him that way if you want to, and make him a little bit more survivable. So I'm using him a lot, having a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you next time.